Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, depending on where you are in the country. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining Google Apps Chamber Management webinar. My name is Paul Gentili. I'm based here in our headquarters in Northern Virginia, just outside DC, McLean, Virginia. The weather this morning was 32 degrees to start off, and might almost hit 60 degrees. I was kind of hoping for a little bit warmer weather. But yeah, thank you so much for hopping on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show why GlueUp is a great solution for your chamber potentially. And so I'm going to start sharing my screen here. I'm going to go over like a handful of slides and then just get right into the platform itself. If anyone has any questions, of course, you can type them in and I can answer them as we go along, and also save some time at the end for questions as well. But feel free to ask as we're going through. All right, here I go. I'm going to start sharing my screen. Okay, so GlueUp. A little bit about our background. So we're now 12 years old as a company. Our founders actually used to work with chambers of commerce and just didn't like the software out there, so they decided to just make their own. What's nice about GlueUp, which is kind of different than some of the other competitors out there, our original founders are actually still our owners. So we're not like part of private equity or part of like a conglomerate or anything like that. We're independently owned and operated. And the value to that is we are enhancing our product all the time. We come up with new features, and actually, when I start sharing my screen on the platform itself, there's even a pop-up that went over one of our new changes that came out. We also invest in our customer support. We get really good reviews with our support team and our implementation team. So that's the value when you're independently owned and operated. You don't have to like cut corners and in some places cost-wise. Now, GlueUp, we were made to just help manage everything about your chamber all in one place. So, of course, there's the membership management. There's the event management, whether it's in-person events or virtual events. We do email marketing. So if you're using like a Constant Contact on the side or something like that, Constant Contact can do great things, but having all the data in one place, like opens and clicks, it's really nice that it's all tied in one place. So you can see that on someone's profile. We could also do like send invoices, send payments. We have mobile apps. So there's a ton of stuff that we're able to do all in one place. And in our time, so we're a global company. We actually have offices in 10 countries around the globe. It's one of the ways that we're a 24/5 company when it comes to support. And we've also worked with over 1,500 organizations, or working with over 1,500 organizations in 70 countries and 6 continents. We haven't found an association yet in Antarctica that's willing to give us a try, but hopefully one day we get that so we can get all 7. So the main area that a lot of chambers sees value is there's a lot of things that can take time when it comes to managing your member database, whether that's running reports for the board, sending invoices for new members or for renewals. There, a lot of that stuff we can 100% streamline for you. And I'll actually show what this looks like, but this starts right at the membership application. We can automatically send invoices, have membership begin, put them in different email lists for you, and different ways to invite them to events. And then we could set up auto reminders for their expiration date and have the invoices automatically generated. If they actually have a credit card on a file, you can even have them auto renewed if you wanted to. And then, of course, they renew, and then the whole annual cycle begins. And so actually on that note, I think this is a good place for me to start sharing what GlueUp looks like. So I'm going to go to my home screen here. Okay, so as I mentioned, new things all the time. We actually just integrated with Outlook. So if anyone's using Microsoft and not Google to send your emails and stuff like that, all those emails, the one-to-one emails, they can start tracking. So that was something new that came out recently. So where I want to start is how it would be like if you wanted to set up like different memberships and automate different things. The first step is what information do we want to collect from any potential new member? So they go on your website, they click apply. There's obviously information, of course, that you want to collect from them, from not only from them as an individual, but their company. And you could set those up pretty easily by choosing which fields that you want. So you can see we have fields both for the contact level and for the company level. And just creating any sort of field is pretty easy to do. I just click add field and you can do short text, you can do comment box, you can do like a single choice or a multiple choice. You can do file uploads. So like a lot of chambers, when you have your member directory, you want to have logos for all of your members. And so you can literally make a single file upload, put in logo and make it something that's a mandatory field. So when a company is applying to be a member, they'll attach their logo and you'll have it for the directory. You won't have to like chase it down later. So creating any sort of fields like that that's how you would do it. And then after you have your fields, you would make your application forms. And creating application forms, you can customize them at any point too. So you could start with one, and then as we get into like the end of the year, and we want to be like, all right, like what's your focus for 2026? You can make that as a new field here, and then tie it to the application form, which I will show here. And I apologize, my computer is going pretty slow right now. All right, so let's go to the company forms. We'll just look at one random one here. So in this case, for a company, all company name is the only thing that's required, but adding any sort of field, we just click a box on the left and it's added. Like we want their website and we want their link for YouTube. So this is how it's like building form. And when you don't want something, you just click the trash can and it goes away. So after we build all the application forms, then we're ready to actually build what we want, like how we want the membership workflow to look like. So I'm going to create a brand new membership workflow to show you how easy it is. And I'll actually apply on it too, so you can see how quickly I would get like the email to pay for the invoice and stuff like that. So I hope no one yells at me for this, but I picked Duke to win my bracket. So we're going to say that Duke's in Durham, North Carolina. So the Durham Chamber of Commerce. We'll pretend that's who we are. We are going to say the first tier has an employee limit of 5 members. We are going to not do fixed date, but you can do fixed date, as you can see here. You can do tier pricing, and you could also do auto renewals, as I mentioned earlier. So we are going to turn on auto renewals here. And then this is where we pick the application form. So I actually made a chamber application form somewhere here. Here it is. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 is we put what the price is for whatever this tier is. So we're going to say it's $500. No application fee, no renewal fee, no taxes. Advanced pricing for the first year, they can actually save 10% off. So we're going to do that. And then that 10% will roll off. 10% is $50. We meant to do percentage. Oops. And that discount will roll off after their renewal. So it's only a discount for their first year. You could do renewal discounts conversely, like if their third year they start saving something, you could do something like that. And now this workflow setting is how automated do we want to make this membership sign up be? So the way this one reads right now, they're going to apply. Someone at our chamber is going to look at the application and we're going to approve it. After it's approved, they're going to get kicked an invoice automatically. That includes a link for them to pay for the membership. And then after they pay it, they're going to be members. You could skip the approval step if you want to. If you want it to be 100% self-checkout, they're going to apply, they're going to pay, they're going to be members. Or maybe you only want to approve them after they pay because they're serious and they sent money. So you could actually do up to 3 different gates if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend that, of course. We'll just leave the first gate for after they apply, we click approve. After that, we have the expiration workflow. So we can choose how many days before the renewal date. So if I apply today, March 27th of 2026, how many days before that do I want to get first system email? So we'll say 60 days before. So January 27th of 2026, I'll get an automated email saying I'm coming up for renewal. And the system will make the invoice and have a link for me to click on the invoice. And then you could also set a grace period. So if I get delayed because I lost my card, check's still coming in the mail, how many days do I still get membership benefits, which include tickets for events, getting inside the membership portal. So you can set that to any integer that you want. And then renewal workflow, like if I uncheck all of this, just the renewals will be the same price, the invoices will be automatically made. So that's what we recommend here. Click save and continue. And then the last step is where we look at like all the emails that the system is going to automatically send. So for instance, if I wanted to see the email that goes out for my renewal, we could totally change the words here in the system email section, and we could put our Durham Chamber of Commerce logo up here. And we can add extra notifications. So like right now, we have one going out 30 days before. Let's make another one that goes out 7 days before. And we're going to send it to both the administrative contact and the primary member in this case. And then let's do one more that's 1 day before, just in case if they still haven't renewed. And we're going to include all the members too. So the employees can go and ring the alarms that the account's about to be renewed or not renewed. All right, and then just like that, I've made a membership type. So you can see that was pretty quick process. Now, what it looks like from the view of your potential members. So I'm going to go ahead and apply. I could see my first year, I get my $50 off. This is where I put in my information here. So, all right, put in my number, address, city. We're based in Tyson's Corner here at GlueUp. You can see which things are mandatory and which are not. So I'm going to skip the ones that are not mandatory. And you could totally choose what's mandatory and what's not, of course. And now I'm going to show my company here. All right, what else is, nothing else is mandatory. Good. Oh, there we go. Okay, and now I got my billing information here. All right, so now my application's waiting approval. Now there's a couple of areas where you all will be able to approve people. We actually have cell phone apps for admins. So if someone applied, you could actually on your app, go ahead and approve them. But right here also in the membership section, we have a workflow manager. And I could look at applications, waiting approval. Here's the application I just did, the Durham Chamber of Commerce for $450. I can click on the application and look at all the answers they did. Of course, I didn't answer everything. I was trying to fly through it. And there's an approval button right here. I'm going to click it. Yep, let me approve this application. I'm going to open up my email box now so you can see how quickly all right, here we go. So I got the email that I'm awaiting approval. And any second now, I'll get the email that I was approved. And it's going to come with a link for me to purchase the membership. There it is. We've approved it. Choose payment method. Click there, and that's where you preset all the different payment options, which we can do credit card, we can do ACH, and then of course, if you want to take checks or cash or something like that, you can do that also. All right, so that's what's like setting up a membership. Now, very quickly, I'm going to fly through the different core modules we have here. So there's the contacts module. This is like the CRM. This is the module that you would be using to run reports. When we have the section contacts, this is going to be members and non-members. So collection of both. Just so if you have like prospects or forward members that you want to still engage with, you can totally do that here. So when I'm clicking filter, I can, for instance, let's do a non-member search. Let's see who's not an active member, but who's subscribed to us and whose favorite Star Wars movie is Empire Strikes Back. That's like a custom field that maybe we made for an event or something like that. Now we have 4 different people that came up on this search result. Now, what we could do here at GlueUp is we have a thing called a smart list. Smart lists are going to be active dynamic lists that will always update the roster in real time when any information changes. So for instance, if we send, we're close to May the 4th, which is kind of funny. When we want to send like an email, we'll put like a picture of Star Wars or maybe Darth Vader, and then they say why they should join the Durham Chamber of Commerce. And let's say Ken right here loves the email, gets his company to become members. Then the next time we send the smart list, they're going to pull Ken out because he doesn't qualify for all the filters anymore. So smart lists are made so that you can create a bunch of like targeted email marketing to both members and non-members. Obviously, we want like open rates and click rates to always be high, and when you get really targeted based off things like smart lists, it really helps. So that's one thing that a lot of our partners really value with the CRM. Now, here too, you can see profiles of people. So for instance, I'm going to click on my profile. Let's say me, Paul, I'm the primary member of one of the company members. Let's say maybe a bank, that's in Durham. And all this stuff that was filled out, some of it wasn't filled out, some of it is. So we can see like what his favorite drink of choice is and things like that. There's an ability to log notes. So maybe we had a meeting with Paul and we want to share some sort of note. And then that will always show up here in the activities. I can like filter by all the notes, or I can filter by future tasks and stuff like that. Here we go, filter by notes. So we can see what the whole team has said. And then you can create a task for anyone that's in your system. So any other coworkers at your chamber, or if there's like interns or board members that you put in the system and you want to assign them a task, you do that. And then the last thing that's pretty awesome about this, what we have here, is there's this whole engagement section. In this engagement section, this is going to show in the last year how engaged this person is. It's like a cheat sheet for this primary member. So we could see they registered for 9 events, but they only checked in the 4 of them. There's 3 email subscriptions that they're on. There's 3 committees that they're a part of. So that's a good sign. We have sent them 5 emails. And actually, when we expand it further, we sent them 10 emails in the last year, and they've only opened 1. They haven't clicked on any. And the last one they opened was 170 days ago. We could see payments that they've given in the last year and all the events that they've attended, and if they paid or not. Now, of course, this is nice for a contact, probably wondering, okay, what about for a company? Can I see same information for an entire company? Well, I'm glad you asked. The answer is yes. So now I'm going to look at the company that Paul, in this case, myself, is tied to. And when I click on the engagement metrics section, now this is going to show how engaged the entire company is. There's a lot of context tied to this company, so this page always loads a little slow. So we can see we have 8 active members of 47 employees tied to the company. We could see which employees are members and how engaged they are. We could see all of those stats, like emails open, events registered for, how many tickets they got. When we scroll down, we can see the amount of payments that this chamber has given to us. Not this chamber, this company member. They've given our chamber almost $20,000 between memberships and custom invoices. And you can change these timeframes, anything. Like if I want to do all time, we could see how much this member has given us. Then for your sponsor members, we could see the last time they were a sponsor, for how much it was for, and if you do any conference that has exhibitors, then you can see the last time someone was an exhibitor, what the date was and how much it was for. So nice information there as well for a company. So those are the main aspects for the CRM. We have a member section, which is really just to help run quick reports. Like if the board always wants to see like, all right, how many new members do we have this month and how many did we lose? All these filters here are more membership related. So it's easier to run any of those reports, and you can save them as smart lists too. So that way you can get those answers to the board really quickly. All right. I'm gonna hop into the events module now. So event registration and just creating the entire event is something also that people like using with us. So any event that you do on our platform, if you want to have one, we are going to have a website created for it, an event landing page. And you can make the event page like, kind of like very, very basic if you wanted to, if it's just something like a happy hour that's reoccurring. But for bigger events, like maybe a gala, a conference that you might be hosting, an awards dinner, if you want to have like a more sophisticated looking landing page, then you could also make that. We have 10 different templates when it comes to making these web pages. So you can totally customize them. You can change the colors and add images. So this is one that I did. Actually, I attended a Chamber of Commerce event in Canada in October. And I kind of modeled this after this event. So we have a whole agenda here, and this agenda is by day. So we can click and see, each day, and if there's any event that you want breakout sessions for and stuff like that, you can totally do that. You could see who's leading the breakout session. So sponsors are a big thing, right? Sponsors need their love. So you can have a main sponsor section where they get like a really big photo, in this case of a Marriott. We could obviously handle with the ticket registration. So when it comes to tickets, you can do member rates and non-member rates. You can do group tickets. You can do early birds. You can do promo codes. And you could do a thing where people can buy like a mix and match of multiple tickets. So like, let's say I'm a member and I wanted to get the member rate, but I'm bringing my spouse to an event and she has to pay a different amount. Like I can buy them both at the same time, which is nice and easy. You can host documents. So like if you want to share like a conference program, this Zoom thing is getting my way. Here we go. We can see the conference program. So the rest of the sponsors too, if we want to, these are just easy fields like CRM fields. So you can see these are all clickable links too. So like Landry's is a member, and when I click there, it takes me to Landry's webpage or wherever the sponsor wants you to go. You can have an event detail section. You can also highlight a certain ticket type. So this become a sponsor. We need to sell more sponsorship tickets. So this is a link that someone will go straight to the sponsorship checkout page. And then of course we can highlight the speakers for the event, who the exhibitors are. And then the last cool thing that people really like about us is we have a community area. So if you want to make it so I can see who else is attending and even try to network and engage with them, that's something that you're able to do. Now setting up this event or any event, it just takes 5 easy steps. So step 1 is set up, like, all right, what's the name of the event? What's the date? How long is it going for? If you want to like have the micro pay website for the event be searchable on SEO, like you can type in descriptions for SEO. You then make like the registration options, like what's the capacity? Do we want to allow people to transfer tickets to each other? Like you can, like if someone's not going, they can actually transfer their ticket to someone else if you want to allow that, or they can edit their information after the ticket. You can make the same way I showed the application forms, you can make different registration forms for an event too. And you can use this as a way to collect information on people. So for instance, maybe if a member is registering, you can make it very, very simple, just their first name, last name, email, and what they want for lunch. But for a non-member, maybe you have more fields they collect, like maybe their favorite Star Wars movie, right? And once we get that information, we can then use it for our non-member list to try to do that targeted email marketing. And then of course you do all your tickets and stuff like that. And then after that, we start working on publishing the microsite. So that's where we put in the speakers, the summary, build the agenda. We put in who the sponsors are. And once all that's done, that's when we start making the landing page. And it's just very drag and drop. You can see like I can move stuff up and down. I can modify things. I can change the color of the whole page. Like if you looked, it's like a red page right here. As I mentioned, I'm going for Duke in my bracket. Not necessarily a big fan of Duke. I just want them to win because they'll help me win my bracket. So there you go. It's not exactly Blue Devil blue, but it's adjacent. And now you can see it's blue here and the agenda page is all blue. So that's how it is to like kind of change things. And if I want to reorder, like, what showed up in the website, I can do that there too. Step 3, then we want to promote the event. So this is going to be a quick snapshot actually into what it's like to send an email with us. Email send test. So what's nice and saves a lot of people time. Well, actually, first let me show how you would invite people. So step one, you would want to invite people for any sort of email. Like this is where those smart lists are. So like the Empire Strikes Back fans, if I made that a smart list, they would show up here. Or I can invite all members, all contacts, whatever I want. So I'm gonna do this to all contacts, but I want to exclude our VIP members since they're going to get like a special call and a special ticket. Settings is where you just pick like, all right, who are you, like which email are you sending it from, and the subject line. Step 3 is when we design the email. Now, when you make an email from an event, all this stuff was already pre-filled out. All the stuff that I made when I was working on this, the content section, you can see all showed up here, which is nice. It's going to save me time. The only thing I could actually almost send this as is if I wanted to, or maybe I just add a section here where I'm just like, typing text like, hey, like you should come to this. We even have AI built in here. So write me a campaign content about an event invitation in July in Halifax, Canada. And then it'll start, filling stuff out for you. Now, after we send the email and we have the event page live and people are buying tickets, then we could see, all right, if we have an approval list, we could see who's in the approval list, or we can just look at the entire attendee list. And if you tickets sell out, you can also manage a wait list. And when we look at the people going to the event, we can run any sort of report here, like who's not a member or who bought the early bird tickets. We can do things like that. You can, if you have any event that needs it, you can design badges with us. And what's nice about the designing of the badge, like you can control what fields populate. Like you can choose a field just for the event, like the favorite Star Wars movie. There it is again. And the badge sizes and things like that, they can be flexible. It could be like, smaller ones like this. This is for, oh, doesn't show, is it? No, because oh, there you go. Now it's showing. So this is actually from a Texas event I went to, TCCE. So you can do this type of badge, or you can do the ACCE type badge where it's different colors and a little bit bigger. So as long as you have the badge printer, then you can, set it up, and we have instructions on how to do that. And then outside of badges, how do we check people in for events? So we check people in very easily. You can do it on a computer. If you have like a laptop there, you just type in their name. For bigger events, you can do a self-check-in kiosk. But like for smaller events, like just the happy hours, you can even just use the app for you all. It's the app for the chamber admins. And in this, you would just type in the name of the person, or you can even scan their ticket. They get emailed a ticket, their QR code, or it shows up in their member app, and then you just scan it. And when you do that, it shows up in their profile that they checked in. So checking people in events is very easy. If anyone ever has to, if anyone's currently doing the thing where you print the roster and you have to check them off and then import them later, those days wouldn't have to happen anymore. And then lastly, there's finance tied to events. If you want to see the profit loss, all the ticket sales are going to automatically populate as revenue. The expenses you do have to manually enter in yourself, like how much was the venue, how much was food and beverage, and then this event will be here historically. So next year when I run the same event, if I want to go back to see how the 2025 went, just see what was more profitable, the information will all still be here. That's events. Very quickly, I'm going to show campaigns. So we showed what a campaign was like an event, but when we want to create a different campaign, like for our newsletters and stuff like that. So what's nice is you can have templates and stuff like that. So same thing, step one, we're going to see we're going to choose who we're sending it to. We're going to choose the email and the subject line. But now in this section, there's a whole template area. So if you have a bunch of templates and you want to use one of them because it's like the same thing that you use every month, you could select the template. And now it will build the stuff that we have, including like who our who our sponsors are, like our annual sponsors. So all the logos and stuff like that are automatically going to be there. And then anything I want to add to that is just click and drag. So I want to add an image. Pretty easy to do. Images can include GIFs, of course. Or if I want to add a text section, and the AI is also here. If I want to do an event tracker where we show like the rest of the events that we have upcoming in the next 2 months, I can do that. And then I'm going to save this, and we can preview our emails at 8.2. So like, let's see how this email looks. I'm going to put a text thing here, but this is all here, and you can see all these. When I click on one of these, it's going to take me to that page. So it's nice and easy way to push registration for any sort of event that you want. You can also make surveys with us too, which is nice. All right, last section to really go over here in the member portal area, because we went over memberships before. Invoices. So we do have integrations with QuickBooks Online and Xero, and we have Sage Intacct on the way. So if you have one of those, then all of these invoices and payments will actually automatically like push every 10 minutes, and it can also pull, depending on like if depending on what you have going on. So right here we have all the invoices, and if I want to just filter by okay, like who is overdue for their renewal, I got 7 different folks that are. I could actually click all 7 and actually like resend them their invoices so they get an email with this invoice. Or if I wanted to download all of them so I can print them and mail them out. Easy stuff to do from that standpoint. And same thing with payments. If you want to do any sort of filtering, be like, all right, like how much money did we get last month for events only? Run reports like that. Anywhere in our system, you can export things. So again, if like the board needs this or something like that, you can totally export this information. But again, all this stuff, if you have QuickBooks Online, Xero, or Sage Intacct, this stuff will automatically push to those too. So you can, if you more operate out of those when it comes to accounting, then you totally could still do that. All right, great. So that's kind of everything in the admin area. So now, the last part, I want to show the member portal. So this right here is our member portal. So the way I would get here, and I'd go to the Durham Chamber of Commerce, click login, and then when I do that, this is what I see. So for our member portal, we try to make ours look modern and almost like Facebook/LinkedIn. We want it to be something that people visually are used to. And so that way they'll know how to interact, and we see adoption being pretty high for us because it's, again, something that people are used to seeing. So like someone posted this, I can like, comment, or I can share it. I can add, a GIF or emoji. I can do my own post. We do have a one-to-one messaging service as well. So like, let's just say I own beer gardens and I want to get a new one. And I see one of the members here, is a financer at a bank. So maybe I'll try to schedule a meeting with them so I can talk about how to get, a loan to build my new beer house. So people can do that, which is kind of cool. You also have the ability to set up different communities. So like, think if you wanted to break up your chamber members into different groups, and this could be off of anything. This could be like all the CEOs together, all the finance people together. People even like put like the board of directors, their board of directors in a group. And the value behind that is all the messages, all the posts. We could see all the members there, but also files can be hosted here. So if we wanted to see like the meeting minutes from the last 4 meetings, like this is going to be here. And uploading any of these is controlled by you all as admins, and you can upload, anything that's under 10 megabytes. Member directory is going to show up here too. It could totally if we make your website, we make websites too. I'll show an example of that. So the directory would be on the website if you want to be publicly facing, or we have widgets to pop it on yours. But when it comes to the directory, we have featured companies here. So that's going to show up at the top. These companies are featured because they paid us more money, or whatever reason it is that you want someone to be featured. It's like a click of a button at the back end. And not only can you control who's featured, you can control the information that shows up for each chamber member. So BH Hospitality, they're featured, but they're a low tier sponsor. So they only get 2 fields that populate. DC Photo Booth, they're featured and they're a top tier sponsor. So they get a lot more information that shows up. So you all have control of the fields that would show up per tier. And then the primary member for DC Photo Booth would go in and they would be the ones that would change any of these details whenever they want. And you could also have up to 5 different filters up here too. And it's up to you on what these filters are. The whole event portal is going to show up here as well. So I could see what I'm registered for. I could see what's upcoming. I could see all the past events. I could see when my membership's coming up for renewal. So I actually am under the renewal period for one of my accounts. It says right here, I expire in 3 weeks and 1 day. And this is another way for me to pay. And actually, when I was first home, you could see it says right up here too, I'm also under renewal. So while I'm also getting the emails, if I'm in the member portal, it's just another way for me to, visually be reminded that I'm coming up for renewal soon. Any newsletters that you would all want to do, people could subscribe to them here. If your chamber does committees and you want people to be able to just sign up for any committee, this is how they could do it. And what's nice is those groups, those communities, you could tie them to committees. So if like the second I say I want to join the education team, I could be put in then to that group and start interacting with the other people that are part of that committee. And then lastly, we have my wallet. So this is where I would put in my credit card information so I could be auto renewed and buy event tickets faster. And I could see my whole transaction history. All right, so that's kind of everything on the platform. Last thing I want to show is what some chamber websites that we've made look like. Um, who do I want to show? Let's go with Russellville. So websites made with GlueUp. So another way that we're different than a lot of our competitors, we actually make our websites on a third-party platform called Drupal. And when we make the websites, we actually make them for you. So they end up being your websites. Some of our other competitors, the websites are tied to them. So like MemberClicks, for instance, like if you ended up having their website with them and then you like wanted to leave or something like that, like you can't take the website with you. Like for us, we're actually making the website for you. So it's your website. And we design it alongside of you. We're the ones that build it. You check in on our work, give us guidance, let us know what you want. You can see Russellville here. They decided to do a video that is right there when you load in. They have a section for their upcoming events and a section for their past events. They have a section for joining, and then of course they want to show their member directory too. They decided to make their member directory a public-facing one. And so when I get here too, I can see their member directory, and you can see they chose 2 different filters. Again, you can have up to 5 different filters in your membership directory. So here's one example. Here's another example, the Queens Chamber of Commerce. Instead of having the video, they have a rotating slideshow that's over here. They have all their upcoming events too. They have their social media pages. One thing I like about theirs, down here at the bottom, their corporate sponsors. You can see this is actually like a sliding corporate sponsor thing. So nice way to utilize the sponsorship dollars. Somewhere on here, the Mets are on here. Today's the first day of baseball, so it's kind of cool to see how, there they are, the Mets. And the way it goes with the website. So after we build it, then we also teach you on how to modify it. So if you wanted to change like a page on it, like you want to update things, you want to change the board page or the staff page, it's very, very easy to do, and we teach you how to do it. And there's also like a resource page that gives you like the step-by-step on how to do things, just in case if you didn't remember when we trained you on it. But yeah, that's in a very quick, well, not very quick, it was 39 minutes. In a 39-minute nutshell, that's pretty much everything that Gloop's able to do. There's definitely more, but I wanted to make sure I left some time for any questions that people have. So yeah, I guess this would be the time to type in any questions that you might have. Are chambers able to hire GlueUp to maintain the website? Oh, that is a great question. Well, again, so actually maintaining the website, it's very, very user friendly. Actually, let me show you what it looks like. Chamber. Oh, I stopped sharing my page. Or no, am I still sharing? Let me just double check. Share. Okay. All right. So like, let's say I want to change. Oh, oops. I actually logged in under the wrong part here. Let me log out real quick. Let me do this real quickly. Actually, I don't have credentials to manage this anywhere. But sorry, but the answer, it's like really, really easy to modify any sort of page. Now, if there's something like core fundamental things that you want to change for a website, then yes, you can ask the GlueUp team. And even like for basic things, you don't remember how to do it, you could submit a ticket and someone from the team would be able to help. So GlueUp would be able to help with certain things, but we really make it so it's pretty easy for anyone on your team to modify what you would want to. Um, I got a question on here about the cost of this. No, you did not miss what the cost of GlueUp is. So the cost of GlueUp varies based off of, in essence, how big your Chambers database is. So like how many members, how many contacts, how many events, how many emails you frequently send. So we really customize the price based off of you. What I can tell you is we're very competitive when it comes to here because I've seen prices from some of our competitors and we're competitive, especially when it comes to like what you get with us. All right. Does anyone else have any other questions? Oh, just got another good question. Do we have text capability? We do not yet. However, so with Zoom, I can't like share my screen to show it, but I have mentioned we do have an app for your members. Um, like it's kind of, I know my phone's gonna like block out here, but it's called MyGlue. It's a like if your members are logged in, they could do actually when I showed the member portal, everything that I was able to do there, they can do on the phone app. And when you all do an announcement of something, then people would be push notified. So you can do push notifications to answer. So no texting capability, but push notification or something that we're able to do. Yes, Angie. Yes, yes, yes. That's yeah, it's called MyGlue. You could actually white label it too if you wanted to, if you wanted it to be the name of your chamber. So, the Durham Chamber was one of our clients, and they wanted in the App Store it to be called the Durham Chamber, and in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store, and that's what it would show up as. Um, and yeah, it's an app that like we get charts here every Monday. We have a meeting and we could see like the usage of the MyGlue member app, and it's great that it keeps going up. So more and more people are using it. Right. Does anyone else have any other questions? Just like one more minute, see if there's any others in here. All right, well, looks like that's it. Well, everyone, thank you so much for hopping on here and spending 45 minutes with us. Oh, dashboards. Yes, yes, we have dashboards. Can show them to you. Actually, I just realized I kind of like flew over that before. Give me a second here. All right, let me go back to sharing the screen. So yes, this whole home page is all dashboards, and you can customize the dashboards too. So like you could choose the widgets that you want to show up. So like if you're more membership focused, you can do membership widgets, and more event focused, do event fit widgets and stuff like that. And you could also click and move widgets around. So like, I don't want this one at the top anymore. Change the time frame from here too. Be like, okay, we see all these membership stuff. What's it been like in the last 90 days? So we're +1 member because we have 10 new ones, but 9 churn. So, do things like that pretty quickly. Graphic, let's see. Yeah, so there's a handful of graphic ones. So we can see like income, and here's another graphic that's like tied to like what payments are like. We have one that's based off page views. So there's some that we have, but that's one of the things that we don't have a lot of. Question though. You're very welcome. Cool. Does anyone else have any other questions? All right. Well, thank you again, everyone, so much. I hope everyone has a wonderful start to your spring. I'll set a follow-up email just that has my information, just in case if anyone wants to, schedule a deeper dive and give customized pricing. But seriously, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your week, and take care.